Having done profiles on many of the topmost motion picture stars, producers, directors in India, such as the recent ones such as Amitabh Bachchan, Dharmender, Hema Malini, Zinat Aman, Parveen Babi, various others in Indian film industry, plus the veteran filmmakers and motion picture producers, directors such as Raj Kapoor, V. Shantaram, Ramanand Sagar, Raj Khosla, Prakash Mehra, and many other people, including Manmohan Desai and others, we are now delighted to do justice to yet another great artist from the galaxy of stars in the Indian subcontinent, from the motion picture industry, none other than Sharmila Tagore herself.
आपने गलत हाथ जुबान दी।
गलत? तुम सपने में आते तो पूरा एक दिन निकल जाता तुमसे मिले हुए।
दीदी, मालिक से क्या कहना है?
मामा, सूरज, कुछ नहीं, कोई आंसू बहाकर रोती है और कोई आंसू पीकर। नहीं अविनाश, नहीं, मैं तुम्हें इस तरह हारने नहीं दूंगी।
ए छोकरा! छोकरी, माफ करना, मैंने समझा छोकरा है।
माफ कर दीजिए।
Sharmila ji, this is a very special segment, by the way, that we are doing on you as a profile. And welcome to our show. You worked very, very hard in the sense in the film industry, and you've come up, through hard work, nothing but hard work. What are the kind of roles that you really enjoyed playing, that you've enjoyed sort of, in terms of making motion pictures?
Well, I hope this doesn't sound very cliche, but it's very difficult to, point out one performance. It's really for the audience to judge. Like you might like something and somebody else might like something else. For me, it's like, like I said, it's like my own children. Like when I'm working in a particular film, that's my best film.
You referred to children. Do you have any children?
Yes, I have 3 children.
कि पूरे देश में देशभक्ति की लहर दौड़
सपने कई वाओ दैट इज ब्यूटीफुल
उसकी जीत को मैं अपनी जीत में बदल दूंगा
मेरी ना एक माना
What is the present status of the Indian film industry? Like, what do you think is the present status in terms of the opportunities for people, for new stories, new directors, new stars?
Well, I think the youngsters are doing very well in the film industry at the present moment. Sanjay Dutt has got rave reviews, and even before films are released, people are looking forward to meeting them. This is in terms of stars. I mean, that of course, publicity value, etc. But even technicians, you've heard of Pune Institute, I suppose. Right. And a lot of youngsters are coming up, and there's a lot more opportunity these days than there were at our time.
Many film stars have attempted to sort of go into production of films themselves. Have you ever thought of a career in that at all for yourself?
No, not production. That is too much of a headache. Like I was just telling somebody that any kind of accounting, it's too much for me. But direction one thinks of now, because I feel that ultimately, this is such a fascinating medium. I mean, it sort of gives you like total expression, isn't it? And then to be only an actress is like being a puppet in your director's hand. So ultimately, I'd like to direct, yes.
That's very interesting. There's another thing that's I picked up in India during the last visit, that there's a lot of magazines which are really invading the privacy, unfortunately, of people who are in prominence. Now, leave alone whether they're motion picture artists, whether they're politicians, whether they're industrialists. How have you managed to keep yourself aloof of, and kept in really good press? Because, you've been one of the elite stars of India. How have you managed to do that as compared to other people?
I don't know whether I've managed to do that, because I've had my fair share of this sort of unwanted publicity.
Or irresponsible journalism.
Well, I wouldn't really, it's very difficult, because when you're in the limelight, there are 3 types of people that people really are interested about. One is, of course, film stars, one is politicians, and the other is sports. Now, politicians have a lot of muscle. I mean, they are protected. Whereas the sports, they're usually men, at least in our country. That leaves us, and we have no such protection and we don't really have it's a funny kind of thing that people identify themselves with us. At the same time, they, with the drop of a, what am I trying to, I mean, they like to believe ill of us very quickly as well. It's a funny kind of, love and hate maybe kind of thing. So it's they cash in on, they make money, and magazines trying to make money out of us. And I don't want to judge anybody. I think it's a common, like you said, it's a very common syndrome. I was in, where was I? In Washington maybe, or Los Angeles, and I was watching TV, and that was more terrible. I mean, there was entirely no privacy at all. At least we have, and when you say that the press has been kind to us, kind to me, because I've been pretty consistent, I think. I've been aloof. I go to premieres, but I don't get terribly involved. Like 9 to 6:30 I work. After that, my time is my own. Maybe that's why. I really don't know.
Just for the benefit of viewers, by the way, we are talking to Sharmila Tagore, one of the finest leading actresses from India. Incidentally, we are talking to Sharmila Tagore, one of the finest stars from the Indian galaxy of film stars in the subcontinent of India. In terms of roots, tracing the roots, we just found out that Sharmila Tagore is one of the relatives and descendants from one of the greatest Nobel Prize winners, none other than the great Rabindranath Tagore himself. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with Tagoreji.
He is my great-grand uncle. We come from his brother's family, and we come from the painter's family, if you know, Abanindranath Tagore, Gaganendranath Tagore. They started the Cubism and, the painter's family. And he's my great-grand uncle.
Sharmilaji, when was the first time that you met the Nawab of Patodi?
Oh, Christ. Years ago. In fact, I think it was 65.
You're a cricket fan.
Always.
Is that how you met him first time? Was it in the field?
Yes, of course I met him while playing cricket, but that was just as a cricketer. But as a person, I met him later.
What attracted you towards the Nawab of Patodi?
Well, him. I mean, it's the totality of his personality. Mainly, I think his sense of humor. He could make me laugh.
तुम्हारे ख्याल में मुझे क्या करना चाहिए?
Tell me something. What makes you mad?
What makes me mad? Oh, what? I don't know. Delays, I think. When I'm kept waiting, and when I like to know what's happening. If there is sort of a kind of disorganizing, like I don't know what's happening. Like if you say we are going to a picnic, and then you suddenly announce let's go to a film, I get mad.
Naturally. Now tell me something, that must have been interesting. How did you ever feel when you were working with other multi-star cast movies or other stars? I heard that this is a common phenomenon in Bombay, that half the people don't keep their time in the film industry. Is that true?
Yes, it's partially true. But
how did it affect you?
There are a lot of reasons involved in that, so one can't go into superficially at the moment. And as far as I'm concerned, I like to, I make very few films at the moment. And fortunately, nobody keeps me waiting.
In Aradhana, you captured the hearts of millions of viewers, by the way. I'm sure it must bring you nostalgic memories right now. Tell me a little bit about your performance in Aradhana.
When somebody asks me like that, I go totally blank. But I remember it was I loved doing that role.
Sharmila Tagore in action from the box office hit movie Aradhana. Watch this. Amar Prem is another big movie that you really made that sort of rings in everybody's memories. Tell me about your performance in Amar Prem.
That was a remake of a Bengali film, and they liked it. Was a big hit. So I was very nervous doing it because I felt that whether I'll be able to do justice to the role, and we had a lot of fun doing that. Kaka I mean Rajesh and I used to sort of, do our homework so thoroughly and try to outdo each other. I think the result was okay.
Lovely. Just as a sample now, here is a lovely segment featuring one of the most beautiful girls from India, Sharmila Tagore, in the movie Amar Prem. Let's watch this. Have you ever thought of making any films outside the country, outside India?
Well, years ago, I did get a few offers after Devi, 20th Century Fox. I mean, years ago, but I think working in a foreign language, you can be typed, of course. You can do an Indian girl's role or like that, Eastern girl's role. But then, generally speaking, if it is not just the language, it's realizing the culture, it's absorbing the culture. It takes a long time. Like for instance, even working in Hindi, I feel just that much conscious. Whereas when I work in Bengali, it's beautiful, it's fun, because it's my language, yes. And this is why I never really thought about working elsewhere, because I can only work very well in my language.
You've been a super sport, by the way. Amidst her busy schedule, we want to thank, by the way, Sharmila Tagore for taking her time and spending time to greet our viewers. Sharmila ji, is there any words of greetings that you would like to give your viewers, your fans and your friends and everybody, your well-wishers in Canada and the United States?
Well, I hope they're watching this program and watching me.
Thank you very, very much for being with us. Thank you, Sharmila ji.
जरा होले होले चल